All right, we are live. Welcome back, everyone. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Hey, hand me the hammer. What? Don't look at me like that. Just hand me the hammer. If he can do it, I can do it. Ha! Look at that. Just like Papa Cueto. Hammer time. Ronnie's in the chat. Good evening, Ronnie. Welcome back to Smash This Podcast. Is this going to be a new thing where J-Bone cracks open a beer every time with a hammer? Probably not, but I had to try it. You have to watch the episode, folks. Then you'll understand it. It was even more difficult, I think, with a bottled beer. This is with a can. I actually had it easy this time. Cheers, everyone. If you're cracking a cold one with J-Bone tonight on Smash This Podcast, let me know what you're drinking. Well, cheers you. My bottle opener up here, so it's out of the way. TGV is in the chat. Welcome. Dario has nothing on his father, Antonio. Papa Cueto is freaking awesome. He is. I think people are starting to warm up to Papa. I think those first few weeks were a little rough. They were like, what the heck is going on here? And I think over time, people are starting to appreciate what Papa Cueto is bringing to the temple, and that's just an exuberant amount of violence every week. We may question it, but it's not our right to question it. It's Papa's temple, and we're just along for the ride, right? So, and speaking of being along for the ride, we had quite the ride tonight, folks. We're going to talk about Season 4, episode number 14. Ronnie, I'm sipping on some Budweiser Chelada. Different, but tasty. Chelada. I'll have to look that up. You know, I had, what did I have recently? Oh, I bought I don't know, it was like a month ago or something. I bought a 6-pack of Bud Light Lime. Those are tasty. That's a great summertime beer. Not everybody likes fruit in their beer. And I was actually going to buy a 6-pack of Bud Light Orange to try that too, after my wife was like, I don't like the lime, but I'll try the orange. And I was like, oh, why didn't you say something? I'll buy a 6. My wife barely drinks anymore. She has like, a handful of drinks per year now. So it is what it is. But she wanted to try the orange. So next time I'm actually going to try the Bud Light Orange. See how that is. I imagine it's something similar to how like Leinenkugel's taste. Leinenkugel's comes out with a lot of summer fruit infused beers. They've got a berry vice, summer shanty with lemon, another one with some orange in it. They got all sorts of stuff. So yeah, I haven't had those in a while. I buy all the cheap crap lately. Those are a little more expensive taste, but sometimes you got to splurge. You're going to try that sometime? All right. Way to be adventurous. Did someone say adventure? Oh, that's another show. Sorry. Wrong show. That's Stone Rockwell. He's on that Impact Wrestling. All right. Let's talk about this. Pet Cemetery. Very interesting title. Did not know where this was going to go. Although I had a bit of a clue, because before we get into this, we knew that the main event was going to involve two different people during the Impact review. Well, there you go, Ronnie. You do that. Maybe I'll have one with you. We'll see. We knew that there was going to be two different people in this match for the Trios Championships, one on either side that had been brought back from the dead. So, yeah, I was really wondering how this was going to work. It seems like Jeremiah Snake, my bad. Jeremiah Snake is not having a problem adjusting. He seems like he's just as twisted and maybe just a little more deranged. I don't think we saw too many examples of that in this match, but certainly fitting in with his new crew. Fitting in just fine, as far as I can tell, with Cobra Moon and Daga, the king of the Lizard King, or is it the Snake King? Whatever. I always get it confused. I'll remember it and then I'll forget it. There it goes again. Two more of my brain cells just gone out the door. And then you had Phoenix on the other side. And as long as I'm talking about it, we might as well just talk about it. We'll just kind of jump all over the place tonight. What the hell? Why not? We'll talk about the main event and we'll talk about other stuff. He was not in the the Lizard King. In the coffin for over 10 weeks. No, he wasn't. But just the fact that, I mean, and then you speculate on the whole supernatural end of this. Just the fact that Phoenix lost his, I'll just keep calling it life force, and it takes away any religious notations away from this. We'll keep it strictly sci-fi supernatural. Katrina took Phoenix's life force. And then we found out several weeks later that right after that happened, Aerostar had traveled back in time. And I know I'm reflecting from last week's thing a little bit, but just, bear with me. It's for the sake of discussion on all what happened tonight. It was just shortly after that Aerostar had taken the life force out of Katrina and put a life force right back into Phoenix just moments later after he lost his. So that bears the question as to what I said last week. I don't remember exactly what I said, but just the fact that when Phoenix was like staggering and then walks up to Melissa, just completely, zero emotion, zero character, and, just a borderline zombie, even though he was alive, there was something drastically wrong about him. Missing, he was alive, but just missing his whole person. It was like his life force was completely off. So you got to wonder if Aerostar took part of Katrina with that life force and put it into Phoenix. And that's why it looks like Phoenix had such a struggle in this match tonight. He was so, we've never seen Phoenix like this. I can only imagine sitting in the audience in the temple watching this mask and really, hey, Phoenix is like twitching and drooling over there. What the hell's going on? He was just kind of, that's my best imitation. That's as good as it gets over here on Smash This Podcast. but the camera zoom ins on him were priceless. I mean, he was like twitching his pecs and, you know, doing this a little bit and like shaking a little. And at first, you didn't see it a lot. And then they started to focus on him more as it went on because you heard the guys talking about it, like something was off with him, but they weren't showing him. Then they started to show him. So, you know, as the match went on, they focused on Phoenix a lot more and showed audience reactions. And then, of course, the whole, I'm not even going to call it a heel turn because he wasn't himself in the first place, but just the fact that whatever's going on inside of Phoenix is just completely like two different forces like struggling with each other. That's the best way I can describe it. Like I said, you got to wonder if he's got Phoenix's life force and a piece of Katrina or maybe something worse inside of him. And just focusing or struggling with focusing on the task at hand. Like they couldn't even get him to do his typical, you know, animo and, you know, do the tope suicida, whatever they call it, or whatever he would do, you know, through the ropes, over the ropes, onto everyone. Everybody was expecting it because that's what he does all the time. He's an aerial assassin. He's one of the best luchadors around. And tonight he was just a shell of what he used to be and actually turned on Aerostar, who rescued him from death's grasp. Shut up. J-Bone could be dramatic if he wants to. This is Lucha Underground. This is drama at its finest. Why this show hasn't received an Emmy yet is beyond me. It's quite upsetting. Should be, you know, Emmys and Grammys and Golden Balls, Globes. Oh, excuse me, Golden Globes. All those, you know, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame should be in all of them. Period. End of subject. Right? Right. Don't ask. It's all up here. All right. Cool beans. That's right. So yeah, it was a really good match, but it was really confusing because the storyline, and that's something that we've seen more, I think, in this season than we've seen in any other season, is behind the scenes storylines creeping into the ring. You know, we've seen people disappear. You know, I don't know how the hell he did that live, but let's not overthink it, you know, with the whole Matanza, you know, gift of the gods thing. And we've seen, you know, Phoenix is back from the dead. We've seen Jeremiah come back from the dead. All these things, and this season's only two-thirds of the way. Okay, that's kind of upsetting to think about, that this season is actually 2/3 of the way over. Andre Corbeil's in the chat. Good evening to you, sir. They need to bring Tina Turner as a manager in some way. God bless you, Andre. That's an incredible idea. Cue the "We don't need another hero." That's as good as that gets, too. Hashtag bring in Tina Turner. Hashtag we don't need another hero. Hashtag Thunderdome. I don't know. We're just all out of whack tonight. Kind of like Phoenix was. So yeah, solid match. The Trios champions defended their belts successfully in this, and Phoenix attacks Aerostar. Oh, I almost forgot. Hey, no spoilers. I don't want to know. Jake Strong makes an appearance right before the match. I almost forgot. I did write that down. And he says he wants to challenge because he's got history, like they said, with Drago and with Aerostar. And he said, if you guys win the hey, Pierre's in the house. What's up? Welcome to the show. Oh my God, brain fart. Oh, he lets them know if they win the trios championships that he's coming after them because he can beat both of them because, and this is the first time that he's actually booed in the temple, but he made up for that right away. He started to chant strong, strong, and they all started chanting along with him. But agents in the chat, oh my goodness, so many buddies here tonight. Good evening to you, sir. I gotta stop paying attention to the chat. No, chat it up, guys. Go ahead. It's all good. Glad you're here. Master Blaster. Oh, goodness, Ronnie. That's right. Master Blaster runs Bartertown. Cue the music. No, I'm not going to sing it again. Damn. So, yeah, Jake Strong challenges them if they win the trios championships because he's like he could beat both of them because he's taller and he's stronger because what does he say? Oh, this is what got him the boos. He said that a wrestler will always beat a luchador, and that was like the crowd was like, oh hell no. He was like, yeah, you drew the line there, buddy, or you crossed the line, I should say. You crossed the line there, buddy. But then he got him back with the strong chant. Yes, Master Blaster fought Mel Gibson in Thunderdome. God, you guys are just making me feel freaking old. In fact, I just listened to that Tina Turner song the other night. I don't know what made me want to do it, but I was just, I don't know. Sometimes you get those little triggers from 30-some years ago from your childhood and go, wow, that was a great pop hit. And because I'm a sucker for 80s pop music. I really am. I love my hard rock, heavy metal, some old school rap, but man, give me some classic 80s pop. And I'm just bopping away like Duran Duran. There, I said it twice. All right. So going to be very interesting to see what Jake Strong does with this situation now, seeing as the reptile tribe and the Lizard King defended their trios championship successfully. Quite a bunch of people wanting championship shots between tonight and tomorrow. Let's just go backwards and then we'll talk about the last segment. Ronnie really likes Duran Duran. Andre Corbio. You're forgiven, Andre. We love you. It's all good. It is all good. You know me, Mr. ADD. The slightest little thing can completely throw off the flow of the show. Don't you know? And don't forget, folks, if you're watching this after the fact, you can catch it on WrestlingWithWrestling.com, where you can leave your comments on the show in the section below. Don't you know? Faux show. I don't know where to go with that. And as we take this pause with the sip of Milwaukee's Best Ice, thanks to Mrs. J-Bone for getting me beer tonight. That was incredibly awesome. Thank you, Mrs. J-Bone! Anyways, love Mrs. J-Bone. So don't forget to smash that like button, smash that sub button. We're trying to get to 1,000. We crossed 500, folks. And ring that bell for notifications so that you know when more of my content hits your screen. I haven't watched MTV. I don't know how many years. It's not even MTV anymore. I don't even know why they keep calling it MTV. There's no M in MTV. But that's another discussion for another time. Let's keep going with this. We have a number 1 contendership match for the Lucha Underground Championship. Mrs. J-Bone is a cool lady. Yes, she's wonderful. She's the love of my life. She's an incredible woman. I love her. I love her to death. Don't you know? King Cuerno versus Mil Muertes for the number 1 contendership. And poor Marty Marty Elias takes quite the beating in this one. We get a double DQ. And we don't see, like they said, we don't see many DQs, or in this case, I guess you could say it's a double DQ because they both shoved the hell out of Marty into the crowd. I mean, they really did. I mean, the crowd didn't even, I mean, I saw it coming a mile away because I could you just feel it. But I'm sure the crowd was like, oh my goodness. I mean, they didn't, I mean, that was nice that they kind of half-ass caught him. That would have been really mean if they were like, oh no, let him fall and crack his head open. You know, I mean, that'd have been really mean to Marty. You got to respect Marty. Marty's the senior official. You always got to respect your seniors and officials. And that just got weird now. Good match though. These two just kicking the snot out of each other. Didn't last too long though. And then Papa Cueto comes out. You can almost see like the Darth Vader thing is like the freezer doors open and and he screams something. I didn't even understand what he was screaming. He said, "Ah, ah, ah, ah. Hold on." He always says, hold on. Shakes his cane. And then he mumbled some other shit. And he said, you too. Or he says, he said, I reward violence in this temple. And I'm talking about Lucha Underground. These guys are talking about 80s music, you guys. Where did I go wrong, folks? Oh, my goodness. Oh, too funny. So he's like, I reward this violence. Poor Marty. Marty's going to show up next week with like a sling and a head wrap. It's going to be hilarious. So he said next week for the Lucha Underground Championship, it's going to be Pentagon versus King Cuerno versus Mil Muertes. And I got a feeling that this match is going to change, and I'll get to that in a little bit. And I'll tell you why. Hold on. Hold that thought. Let's talk about the first match. That was actually pretty darn good. You know, and it makes me happy when I see matches like this because it shows the what's the word I'm looking for, folks? How I don't want to say advanced is the wrong word. Whenever this, you know, as much as this show shows intergender matches, and I understand that intergender matches is not everyone's cup of tea. I get that. But I thoroughly enjoy it because how it's, excuse me. Damn. Cheers. He's so rude. He covered his mouth. Shut up. As much as they show intergender matches on this show compared to anything else on TV, I mean, I know we see a lot of stuff throughout the indies. It just doesn't come to the public eye a lot unless it's through YouTube or social media. You're not going to see this on WWE. Impact, you see it once in a while, but I've always complimented Lucha Underground. I've talked about this a lot on here throughout all these seasons. When you see intergender matches, it's never like a woman like weak against a strong man, where it's like a weak woman struggling against another power, like a power struggle. It's always two kick-ass forces, boom, colliding in the ring. And I've always praised this show for showing stuff like that. You never see anything other than that. So for 4 seasons strong, congrats, Lucha Underground, for showing a strong alternative, and honestly, in my opinion, showing an even stronger side of a women's evolution, if you will. Revolution, however what you want to call it. Always showing a strong woman's force in this show, whether it's out of the ring or in the ring in this case. So we get a Gift of the Gods championship match, intergender match between Ivelisse versus Dragon Azteca Jr. Oh, okay. I was trying to read my notes. But just a really solid back and forth match. There was never any point in this match where how do I say this? The crowd was thoroughly behind both sides, but at one point really was going and cheering for Ivelisse more than Dragon Azteca Jr. And that's nothing against him. They're very happy that he's the Gift of the Gods championship. But if you look at everything that Ivelisse has gone through in the last 4 seasons, struggles there's a little bit of kayfabe and non-kayfabe in this. You look at her struggles in relationships, struggles with injuries, and that's the real side of things. That's why she was gone so much last season. Was it last season? Yeah, I think it was last season. And throughout all the season, she's had struggles with injuries, and this season I think is the first out of 4 where she's really come out strong, and she's been doing well. Every time she's been featured, it's never been, oh no, what's going to happen to her? No, she's come out on, even if she lost, she's had a great match, and she's really done great. So props to Ivelisse. You've really been having a kick-ass season so far. Even though you lost in this match, you're still coming out better than you did in past seasons, in my opinion. Especially with injuries, and she's had a great 2018 so far, in Lucha Ground and even across the independent scene. She is one that I don't understand why she's not featured in other places more. She should be down in AAA. She should be in Impact Wrestling. And I understand there's a lot of people that want several different people to show up in several different places. Ivelisse is one of those that keeps getting passed over. I don't understand why. I don't know if it's an issue backstage, maybe an attitude thing with other people that she's worked with before. I have no idea. But Ivelisse is incredibly talented, and I'd love to see her more places, as we've seen Taya and several others go different places as well. So, oh my God, you guys are just blowing up the chat. I'll read everything later. EPMT. Run teams. I'll read it all later. You guys are crazy tonight. Love you. Love all you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Blowing up the chat. Don't mind me. I'll be over here. Oh my goodness. But yeah, great match between Ivelisse and Dragon Azteca Jr. Um, in fact, Dragon S. Chicken Jr. makes 2 appearances tonight. I almost forgot. And I'm completely, I don't know how the hell I skipped this. Phoenix at the end of the main event, well, he attacks Aerostar, but he also attacks Melissa. Melissa is like, almost like shaking, like trying to get his attention, turn around, talk to me. What's going on? Why did you do that? And her voice is just trembling as she's trying to get his attention. And then he ends up just throwing her down to the ground. And he's, it's like, he's not himself. The crowd obviously boos at him because that's not cool. But there's also a huge other story to this. Like, okay, that sucks that he did that, but why did he do that? What's going on in here? What's going on in here? So, obviously Dragon S. Tegan Jr. is going to try to get to the bottom of this because he's been very close with Melissa Santos in this. He's appeared in other segments before, talking about before Phoenix came back, her dealing with her grieving, things like that. I know how many fans out there are going, why doesn't Brian Cage just comfort her? My goodness, that's her husband. They made a person together. Why doesn't he just give her a big old hug and fix the situation? Not in this world, folks. Not in this world. It's don't ask where that voice came from. My dad watches a lot of Gomer Pyle and stuff like that. So I grew up loving that stuff. It's crazy. Anyways, golly. Oh, that's right. J-Bone's going off the deep end tonight. So yeah, great match. Back to the beginning now. Great match between Ivelisse and Dragon S. Chicken Jr. Great performance from both of them. Ivelisse, unfortunately, I say unfortunately because she was doing so good in this match, it almost felt like maybe she could overcome, everything and get a win because the crowd was really behind her. The crowd was behind her. So the crowd was behind her so much it almost seemed like she was going to win. Sometimes you get that feeling in an episode like something's going to happen. So she loses. She's left in the ring. Then all of a sudden, at the top of the, almost said ramp, it's not really a ramp, top of the stairs, out comes Exolicious and Joey Ryan. And they were like, hey, girl, don't worry about this loss. And we know you're a good former trios champion. You've dealt with some different teams before. Why don't you team with the two of us and go after the trios championships? And she's like, all right, let's do this. So somewhere in the soon and near future, maybe even the next episode, we're gonna see Exolicious, Joey Ryan, and Ivelisse go after the trios champions, whoever they may be. I mean, you never know. But right now, it's the Reptile Tribe. So, that's going to be one crazy ass team. I mean, really, it's you never know. Like I said, you never assume anything. You never know what you're going to get in here. It's one crazy ass show. Okay, then let's talk about that last segment. Last segment was really interesting. Marty, number one, Papa Queto cracking open the beer. Oh my God, almost snotted. I'm sorry, folks. It was just too damn funny. Papa Queto cracking open the beer with the hammer. bottle or can. It was damn funny. It's like, come on, you're Papa Cueto. You don't have a can opener in your office? Crazy. I'm surprised he didn't just do some crazy shit and, pop out his bad eye and do it with his eye socket. Some shit like that. He'll do that next episode. So he's trying to crack open this beer. And Marty's at the door. And Marty and this is another small, tiny little segment that we saw in the season 4 trailer. Marty pounding Cueto. I don't know what the hell he was screaming. I got to watch it back. Cueto. It looked like he was like screaming good morning or something. I don't know. Crazy. Or use his teeth. Or his hair. You guys. Damn, it's empty. Marty's banging on the door. Goes in and just tosses money on the table. Cueto's like, what's this for? He's like, my sister came in and paid you this amount for a Gift of the Gods championship match. Almost said trios. Oh my God. He's not Jack Swagger. Strong is going to take on all of them. Oh my God. Asks Papa Cueto for a Gift of the Gods championship match. And just, I thought Papa was going to say no, because you're not as charming or as beautiful as your sister. I thought he was going to get nasty and be like just a total male pig and be like, no, your sister, you are not as hot as your sister. Something like that. But no, he takes the wad of money and flips it or whatever, flicks through it, whatever they call that, smells it. I don't know. He probably likes the smell of money. Probably smells like mothballs or something. Try the pork. I'll be here all night. And then Papa Cueto says, all right, so next week it'll be Gift of the Gods match. Dragon Azteca Jr. facing you, Marty the Moth Martinez. Then Marty tosses another wad of money, boom, on the desk. And Papa's like, what's that for? Marty's like, there's something else I want. And it's like, oh. And that's where the episode ends. So that's why I said I've got a feeling that this three-way, see where I'm going here? This three-way is going to become a four-way. I would have absolute no doubt, and I could be dead wrong, could be something completely different. Who knows? Who knows? Marty the Martinez might want to become like special ref in something. Who knows? But if his sister is trying to be motivational, I love the smell of money in the morning. Ronnie, are you related to Papa Cueto? Because that sounds like something he would say. I love the smell of dinero in the morning. Is that the Spanish thing for money? I don't know. Anyways, shut up. I know I wrecked that one. Leave me alone. Where's my can opener? Ah, told you. J-Bone, the man of many talents. Don't forget it. Shut up, I'm thirsty. So yeah, I have absolutely no doubt, it is tasty, that we're going to see a four-way. Pentagon, Cuerno, Muertes, and Marty the Moth Martinez buying his way into this match next week. Smash that like button if you want to see a fatal four-way in the Temple next week. Love to see them book that stuff. And that would be the first time this season that I think Pentagon would really honestly have the forces against it, because I got to say, I've been a little surprised how successful Pentagon has been this season, but it's been a great season for Pentagon. He's had some tremendous matches. I'm going to try opening a wine bottle with a hammer. Ronnie, I don't recommend that. I don't know. I don't think you could do that. That would be maybe a screwdriver if you're trying to get the cork out. No, then you just get bits of cork all over the place. No, don't do that. I would recommend, you know what? It depends on what kind of top it is. Sometimes it's just, you just screw off the top and chug away. But if it's a cork, I highly recommend a cork screw, you know. I don't think a hammer's going to work, but I'd love to see you try. Let me know how that goes, right? All right, so who knows what we're getting next week, but we do know that we are at least getting a triple threat for the Lucha Underground Championship, and we're also getting a Gift of the Gods Championship match. Dragon Azteca Jr. defending against Marty the Moth Martinez. Wouldn't that be something if they had both matches back to back? Papa Cueto comes out. Hold on. Marty the Moth's not going anywhere. And he's just staggering around like Stone Rockwell at the whole second match because he's all beat up from the first one. I would just about piss myself laughing. Comedy Hour on Lucha Underground. So, cheers to you all for joining me this evening. That's it for this one. Tomorrow night, Impact Wrestling. We'll do a review right after the episode. And then, like I said yesterday, Ring Warriors. Ring Warriors, a brand new show on WGN, a major cable TV network, getting a brand new 1-hour show. 52 episodes ordered. 52. Not bad for a brand new show. Hats off to these guys. It's going to be featuring guys like Marty the Moth Martinez, a.k.a. Martin Casals on this show. Excuse me. Austin Aries, Milwaukee's finest. Marty's sister, Melissa Anderson. That's her real name. Oh, okay. Mariposa, just without the mask. Who else? I wrote it down. Here we go. Here's the list I quick wrote because the trailer came out earlier. Some Japanese guys I never heard of. No offense. Not going to try to wreck their name. Eli Drake. Unbelievable. Is going to be on here. Jeff Cobb, a.k.a. Batanza. Are you ready for that? Oh, my God. The Tokyo Monster. I said I wasn't going to try to screw this up. We'll just say the Tokyo Monster. Santana Garrett is going to be on here as well. Wes Briscoe. That's right. Aces and Eights. Formerly of Impact Wrestling. Aces of Eights. Formerly of Florida Championship Wrestling. Wes Briscoe. Chris Bay, straight out of the West Coast, has been featured in, oh man, I can't think of it. He's champion in somewhere in California. I forget the name of the company. I apologize. But he's also in FSW, I believe. Mil Machetes and those guys know the name of the company. They promote it all the time, and I can't think of it. Damn. But Chris Bay is going to be featured on this show as well, along with Luke Hawks and several others. So yes, wrestling is coming back to Saturday morning. I have watched wrestling on a Saturday morning since I was about this big. Going over to my best friend's house, John. Oh my God, old school, old memories of growing up in Milwaukee. I'd go over to his house on Saturday mornings and we would watch old school WCW, the old school WCW where it was the little studio with the ring on the, spinning around. Tony Schiavone waiting by the door. The smoke comes out. You didn't know who was going to come out. That old school WCW before they went back to arenas and, started the whole Attitude Era, the Monday Night Wars. So about 10 years prior to that. So we're talking mid to late 80s. I haven't watched wrestling on Saturday morning since back then, folks. But we're getting it again. 8 Eastern, 7 Central. I don't know if I'm getting up at 7 Central, but I tell you what, DVR it, folks, if you were not getting up at 7 Central. I'm really excited about this. It's being filmed in Sam's Town Casino in Las Vegas. I don't know if it's all the shows going to be filmed here or if they're going to be just starting on the West Coast and then going all over the place. I'm not sure. But nonetheless, we're still getting they probably have a contract with the casino for all the different tapings. Like they'll do like a taping over a weekend a month that'll cover several different episodes. That's my guess. Kind of like what Lucha Underground does when they do theirs. Over the course of a weekend, they'll do like 4 or 5 weeks worth of shows. So can't wait for that. I will be reviewing it on Smash This Podcast right here. I'm excited because it's something else new. It's another alternative. J-Bone covering all the alternatives. Ring Warriors, Lucha Underground, Impact Wrestling, MLW, amongst whatever else. That'll be the new alternative. With can opener in hand, folks. All right, we'll cut that off right there. Oh, shit. Just having too much fun here tonight, folks. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to smash that like button, smash that sub button, and ring that bell for notifications. We're trying to get to 1,000, folks. Help the cause. We're trying to just get the channel monetized again. Can't say much more than that. Oh, t-shirts. The link is in the description. Smash This Podcast has t-shirts if you're so inclined to buy a t-shirt. And I know you are. Because I know someone just bought a t-shirt and he told me about it. If you're so inclined to buy a t-shirt, hit me up on social media on Smash This Podcast or JBone5150. Take a sexy little picture of yourself, share it with me, and I'll share it with the world. I will. So that's it for this one. Thanks. McMahon is losing steam. I'm losing steam. I'm out of here. Good night, folks. We'll see you tomorrow night.